Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Dichotomy. I hope you're doing well and that this week's topic resonates with you. Now this week I have too much traffic. Now this week I have a challenge for you, and it is along the lines of labels and judgments. So often we get caught up in judging other people, judging ourselves, or apportioning labels to ourselves or others. Now, both of these are going to lead us down a path which is not in our highest good and not in the highest good of others. Often, our judgment and our labels can be unkind. And if we're being unkind, we're actually contributing negatively to the collective field of consciousness. Our brains are designed to capture information within the blink of an eye. The man with the tattoos, the girl wearing the low-cut top and overly short skirt, the person with the disability, or the pretty girl. All of these are pieces of information that the brain uses to help ascertain, am I safe? Where our past experiences, cultural beliefs, images within the media or personal biases, just to name a few, suggest to our brain that a particular thing is not safe, we automatically turn that data into judgments and or labels. He is probably a criminal and I should stay clear of him. She is a hooker and has no values. The bloke in the wheelchair is disabled, so as a burden on society. The pretty girl is a nice person. They could be positive or negative statements, but all are assumptions based on nothing other than a momentary glance. They are not factual, yet we still allow these snapshots to drive our decisions erroneously. Instead of allowing a momentary glance or preconceived notion to drive our behaviours, perhaps we could ask, where did I get that idea from? How do I know that it's true? Or even better, could I be wrong? Judging someone or attributing a label to them before even giving them a chance to demonstrate who they are is a symptom of a self-absorbed society. Who are we to judge someone so quickly while assuming our view is the only one, and yet being so slow to open our hearts or to ask someone about themselves or their life? As they say, never judge someone until you've walked a mile in their shoes. And given every human is unique and every journey is different, we can never truly walk in anyone else's shoes, but we can appreciate our differences and start from a position of understanding rather than judgment or labels. Now, obviously, we don't want to be that person that brings the whole of society down with its energetic frequency. So let's be conscious this week about what we're thinking about ourselves, what we're thinking about others, and what we're saying in terms of the mental language we use and the actual physical language we use. Remember, words are spells. Words are creative. Words have meaning and magic. So if we are conscious of what we're saying, what we're thinking towards ourselves and others, we can change our experience of this world in a really positive way for ourselves and others. And that'll be a beautiful thing. That would be so fantastic for all of us to be a little bit more conscious of. Because if each one of us does that, imagine the cumulative effect of millions of people around the world, all checking themselves on their thoughts, all keeping themselves in a positive frame of reference, all looking at each other with compassion and kindness instead of judgment and labels. So give it a try this week, guys. See if you can go a whole day without judging yourself or others, or attaching a label to yourself or others. And see how hard it is to do. You start to realise how often we fall into that trap. But once you see, you cannot unsee. And once you know how to move through this life differently. We need to drop the labels, we need to drop the judgments, and just accept what is. Accept ourselves as is. Realise that we're all on this planet down here just doing the very best we can, and none of us come here to make significant mistakes or harm to others. But sometimes we do that. That's the learning process of being human, and that is okay, as long as it's not malicious. But the innocent mistakes we make, the innocent harms we make, that's part of learning, and that's part of being human. So I hope that is helpful. I hope you enjoy the little task of trying to keep yourself mindful, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic week, and I'll talk to you again next week. Take care. This channel was created for women just like you who are trying to navigate this crazy, hectic world we call life in a way that is aligned to your heart, mind, body and soul. Hi, I'm Di Jones, a conscious creator, women's transformational coach and the host of Dichotomy. I bring modern psychology, spiritualism and of course contemporary development practices into the same field so that we can look at ourselves from multiple different perspectives and choose what works for us best. There's new episodes every Wednesday, and I hope you find them useful in terms of aligning your decisions and the way in which you live your life. I'm here to assist you anytime you need it. Please reach out, and I hope you find this episode useful for your soul's journey. Take care, all the best, and I hope to see you for another episode of Dichotomy really soon.